Okay. Cool. Remember last time though, the audio was all kinds of jacked up.
You're good.
Yeah. All right. Cool.
Sounds weird because my phone's so close to you.
Huh?
I said I think it just sounds weird. My
Okay.
phone is so close to you.
All right. It's a mosquito out of here. It's about to start raining soon. So, all right. If everybody that is here on the live, if you can hear me just fine, and you can also see the Webull, or sorry, not Webull, TradingView application pulled up here, and it's all working good. If you can go to the comment section on the live stream, if you're on Twitter, on X, just give me a thumbs up or say all good. That way I know it's working. And then we'll go ahead and get started looking at a few charts. I'm on a few minutes early, so. All right, cool. Checking the YouTube channel. Everyone says that it looks good over there, so I think we're good to go. All right, so the first three, as always, will be SPY, QQQ, and IWM. So I got SPY pulled up here right now, and just going off the last session for where SPY kind of closed at and where I'm looking is around those 544 down to 533.50, and then upside is like 544 like 60 to that previous high around 555. So there's a 50 cent to the upside and 50 cent to the downside. I would like to see going into the open tomorrow one of these to have been broken, retested, and then held. All right, sweet. More people saying that the stream is good this time. No issues with the audio. Sweet. So if everybody could retweet the stream, get this out there, let people know I'm starting a few minutes early. So appreciate you guys. So essentially what I want to see is one of these to have been broken to the downside. I want to see it retested, and then I want to see that rejection off of it. That way there's that continuation in that direction. So either that breakdown below and held under 553.5 or SPY to open up, breaking above previous high and retesting that 555 area, and then getting the that next move to the upside. So that's where I want to see SPY open up tomorrow. Don't want to open up flat. I want to see just some kind of little bit of movement. to kind of give me an idea on potentially where SPY's at. But I noticed a little bit ago when I pulled up this chart on SPY, I believe it's right here. Got this trend line right here on SPY. So if that level ends up breaking and holding under to the downside tomorrow morning pre-market, SPY ends up breaking the trend line and is holding under that right there, I would expect to get that next move down probably around to that 552 would be a good target. No, whale, I will not draw a floppy cocky or an erection direction. There will be no penis drawing on my charts for this live stream. Sorry to disappoint you, buddy. That's your thing, though. But I'd be more than happy. Maybe we can do like a co-stream one day. You get yours, I get mine. And you can be free willy to go ahead and draw as many of those willies on your chart as you want. But so I'll look at this for SPY tomorrow. If it holds under this zone here, especially that 553.5, get that flush down to 552 target. Obviously, if SPY ends up breaking and holding above the 555 and the previous high, it's new all-time highs. There's no really targets, no ceiling above that we know of. As of right now, I mean, just focus on the dollar psych levels as it moves higher, 555 to 556, 57, and up to 60, obviously. So this is what I will be watching on SPY tomorrow. Personally, I would like to see a little bit more downside and then go back upside to make newer highs on most of these names for either next week or the week after. QQQ. Let me get rid of this. Okay. Looks like a similar trend line here. Oh, it actually closed like almost on it. So that's interesting. QQQ is not in a squeeze on any time frames. Whale, what did you just text me? Oh, that's beautiful, Whale. Look, that's what he drew on the chart for this tree. And then he drew another one on my face. He did. Look what he drew. Whale screenshotting the live stream and sending me photos of him drawing things on my face. Here, let me see that. Hold that up. I can text that to him. Let me send that to him. All right, so QQQ, as of right now, it's got this little previous intraday zone up here, 496 to that previous high, 496.60. Whale says hi. And downside, 495.4 down to 494.8. So on SPY, there was that 50 cent kind of window above that zone. On QQQ, 50 cent downside. I would obviously mainly be watching here and that previous high there, and then that trend line. So it's going to be a very similar setup for SPY for potential downside on Qs. So this is on, that was on the 15 minute to start. 15 minute or 30. mainly looking at the trend, obviously is very, very strong. Ever since this move right here, it's held the 9 and 21 EMA. Every dip has been bought, higher highs, higher lows. It's currently holding above the 9, and look where the 21's lining up, which is perfect. So this is where I'm going to look to initially take calls on QQQ. Is going to be around the 494.85 up to that 495 area. That spot right there, I will initially look to get calls, risk to reward getting calls there, especially obviously because QQQ is in this trend. It's going to retest around 495 psych level, but overall, this bottom of the zone here, 21 EMA here on the 30 minute, that it has been respecting for this trend. So if it's going to continue to respect that trend, that's where the buyers are going to step in. And look what happens every time it gets down here and it hits that. Look at the explosive move. It's almost like it's the last line of defense, so they know they have to step in to keep it up, to get that trend going. Again, hit it right here. Look at the explosive move right after that. So you could almost expect that again and take QQQ up to that 498 to make that new high. So I'm going to look to initially get calls here on QQQ. If it comes down, breaks the trend line, breaks 494.8, I will look for it to retest. And when it retests and it rejects it, that's where I'll look to get short on QQQ. So initially going to go long, risk to reward, buying at the bottom for calls is better than obviously buying it at the highs. So again, initially go long there when it breaks it and buyers are not stepping in, and then it retests and shows that clear rejection, doing that SR flip, that support resistance flip there. That's when I go short Qs. Let me flip it to the 15 minute, and first target downside is going to be around 493.70, so almost just a dollar move to the downside there. To 493. That'll be target area on QQQ. So going to keep that on watch for tomorrow morning as well. After QQQ, obviously IWM. IWM is in a squeeze on the 30 minute, the daily, the weekly, the monthly. This is a beautiful SR flip right here. It held it, broke below it, and retested it, went higher. IWM just broke this zone again, which is around 201, retested it, and came back lower. So IWM, let me get rid of these arrows. I use this for an example of the last mastermind class. So 199. Let me get this on here. So $201 upside on IWM needs to break and hold, and then below 199.98 that I put on there, essentially $200 psych level. The $200 psych level is going to be big for IWM. If IWM breaks and holds under the $200 psych level, it can get pretty ugly. Let me see if this lines up with anything. Jesus, I have too many drawings on here. I can watch this trend line almost as well. And then these highs are also getting lower at the same time. So, sure, these ones right here. These are also getting lower every time. Another big spot around 202.15. About right here. Whoopsies. That would be full target upside for IWM if it does start the rip. Full downside target, or not full downside target, downside target under 200 would be 199.3. After that, down to that 199 psych level. IWM, nothing really too much to look at. So initial test of 200 down here, I'll look to go long, take it back up to the upside around this 200.5, and then target 201, 201.4, and then that full target upside is here, right at the top of that trend line, where you can expect that lower high to be put in. So again, retest and hold of 200. I'll go long IWM and target these to the upside and that full target 202.15. If IWM opens up above 201 and it retests it and does that SR flip, then I'll enter in here as well and then take it to these two targets to the upside. The only way I'll short IWM will be a rejection off of 202.15. So essentially, just like up here, over here, wherever the heck, just like the rejection here, I'll look to get that rejection here as well, and then I'll target these levels to the downside. The other way that I'll short IWM is a break and hold under the 200 level here. So if it comes down and it flips it to resistance there, then I'm going to take it back to the downside here. So that'll be the other way that I trade IWM. And then the other three names on watch, I talked about it last week. It started to rip on Friday. Is SQ on the daily time frame. So SQ on the daily time frame is in a squeeze, going to the upside. So at the same time, it has an inverse head and shoulders. So also this trend line right here. So you got this trend line on SQ. It is now breaking above the trend line. So it's now breaking above the trend line. That's a good sign. The chart pattern on SQ on the daily, I foresee this as an inverse head and shoulders and is popping up to the neckline now, which is going to be around 66 bucks. So it is breaking the trend line, but it hasn't really broke out of like the full neckline. The neckline starts at 65 and goes to 66. That dollar area is where it can reject and just pull itself back down to close back underneath the trend line and then make that lower low, which I don't want to see happen here. So again, it's also in a squeeze right here, these little red dots, squeeze, and it's moving to the upside. So squeeze, upside, MACD cross, bullish to the upside. RSI is increasing from 30 to 50, so it went from oversold to now neutral, and now I want it to go from neutral to essentially overbought. I want the RSI to go to 70, I want it to climb higher as the stock price goes higher. So I'm looking to get $68 calls potentially on SQ for the end of the week and take those in the money, either end of the week or for July 19th, I believe. Those contracts, let me double check. I want to say it's July 19th. I don't have Webull pulled up. It's cute. July 12th and July 19th. So yeah, I'll be looking to get $68 calls potentially for both of those. Take those in the money. At the same time, I'm going to look to do a put credit spread as well. So I would like to sell most likely the 64s and buy the 63s. That'll be a put credit spread for Friday that I'm going to try to open up either tomorrow or Tuesday on SQ. After SQ is AMD. On the 4-hour time frame, I have on watch. For what reason? Jesus, so many levels. AMD's in a squeeze on the daily. Which direction? It's starting to curl upside now with a bullish crossover on the MACD to the upside as well. So that is a pretty good sign here for AMD. So let me get rid of all this bullshit. So AMD, the only thing concerning right now on AMD is I would expect a little bit of a pullback before the next launch to the upside. Around 175 to around 170, I'll just say 170.5. This area right here can be a rejection spot. This can act as an area of supply. So you could see the rejection on AMD here and then look for the pullback on AMD probably closer to, I mean, the 170 psych level is right there, but to break the 170 psych level is, I think it's very possible, come down to like 167 and then pop there and get that next move up to like 184 for the squeeze on the daily to then play out. So on the 4-hour, the only thing that's concerning is the candlestick setup. Is the RSI is at 72. Here we go. The RSI is at 72. When it crosses over the 70 line, which I have as red right here, that means the stock is overbought. Usually when that happens, the RSI needs to cool off, so the stock on the price of the stock can come down. So you have the big green candle, you have this long doji at the top. I would not be surprised for this to print a nasty red candle to come back down. And oddly enough, the 4-hour daily, let me see the daily. No, daily is a little bit lower. The 4-hour 9 EMA lines up around that 167 area where I said I would look to go long off of. So for AMD, going to look for an initial short on AMD if it breaks under 170 psych level. If AMD breaks under 170 psych level, I'm going to target 167. When it hits 167, if it does, then I will look to be obviously taking majority of profits by that point on a short position. If I caught a $3 drop there on AMD, and then potentially look to flip long and take it back up to 170, and then try to take it a little bit higher after that. Potential swing to take it to the 80s, the 180s on AMD. So looking very strong here from recent price action. I do think a small pullback and then a big leg up is in the works for AMD here. And last but not least, me and Jordan are going to be on this. I try to get Knots in on it, but he won't do it. See if I can get him on it tomorrow. We'll see. Last time it went 400%. The first time it went 400%. The second time it went 200%. And I sold a put credit spread on it. So now I'm going to try and go 3 for 3 for SHOP. So SHOP, again, I've been trading this since the end of May is where I was supposed to take my entry, and I was a day late. June 3rd is when I got into my first long position on SHOP here. So the technical analysis, everything on SHOP still hasn't changed. I have traded it every single week, and every single trade so far on Shop has absolutely been profitable. The lowest one is obviously the credit spread for 100% because that's the max you can actually get from it. The other two trades were 400% and 200%. So again, cup and handle here on Shop. So the only thing that was stopping it initially from the very big first run up is the 200 EMA here on the daily. Shop rejected again here. Shop rejected again on Wednesday. Market was closed on Thursday. What happened with Shop on Friday? It ran higher and it closed above the daily 200 EMA. But it is retesting that same high from Friday, June 14th. So there could be a potential double top here around 68 bucks. So if Shop starts to rip above 68 bucks, I'm freaking long and strong on Shop. If Shop pulls back, I'll look for the pullback to 67 to 66 to get in on some July 19 calls on Shop. Most likely 70s because that's what I want to take in the money. The gap fill goes to 75. So, I mean, that obviously can take a little bit longer. That can be a potential August swing. So I'll keep that on watch too. If it starts to rip, roll out some profits from the July $70 calls, roll them to August $75 calls. So going to look to also, again, sell another put credit spread depending on where Shop opens up. So I'll look to go long, either breaking above 68 bucks or if it pulls back to 66.50, 67 area. So most likely look to sell 65 puts and buy 64 puts. If it rejects here, I'll give myself a little bit of room to where I can go long, sell that put credit spread. If it fails and accepts back under the handle here and comes back under the daily 21 EMA, which is sitting right at $65, which I love because where I'm going to open up that position. So as long as it stays above that, by the end of Friday, I will collect 100% full profit on that credit spread. So I'm going to look to double dip again on Shop, going long on calls and selling a put credit spread this week. I'm going to try and catch this full gap move to the upside on Shop for the next few weeks, just keeping it on a watch every single week and making multiple trades on it. So SPY, QQQ, IWM, SQ, AMD, and Shop. My favorite is going to be SQ. For this daily squeeze, it's been a huge downtrend. This can be the spot where it finally gets a decent reversal or at least a nice pop to the upside, again to 68 bucks. So SQ is my top watch for tomorrow or overall for this week. So let me check messages real quick before I jump off. I mean, I'm bullish on Tesla, but Tesla's on a huge run right now, so I would personally like to see a pullback on Tesla to just keep on getting long on Tesla. But yeah, I mean, I'm absolutely bullish on Tesla. Sweet. All right, well, that's it for me, guys. I'll send a few charts out later tonight over the ones that I had just talked about here on the live. So again, if everybody could please just like and retweet or share the stream here, because the stream is always recorded every single time. So for the ones that aren't able to attend it live during this time, it will be recorded. So if you like and share it, it can still reach to everybody. That way they can watch it later tonight or watch it tomorrow morning before the market opens. That way hopefully some of the education and technical analysis on this chart can help somebody's trades this week potentially. So that's it for me, guys. I'm going to go ahead and jump off here. Hope you guys have a great rest of your night, and I'll be seeing you guys tomorrow morning trading live.